Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Dream Career Talk Show. Dream Career Talk Show, as you all know, it's not just about job, but it's all about career, which is much beyond getting a job. Here on this show, we'll have industry experts who will be sharing their knowledge, their experiences, their challenges, their failures, and their success so that it can help and inspire others in their career journey. Now, today's topic is very interesting and it's going to blow mind of a lot of you because it is about art and it is about how you can heal through art. What is abstract art? What is the history of this? How did it start? How can you connect with art and healing, between art and spirituality? How do you interpret that abstract art? What is color therapy? Understanding more of this we'll be doing during this particular episode. And to help us learn and understand more about abstract art and also how to heal through art, we have one of our special guests today, Sonal, who is a solution architect in an IT industry by profession and also a passionate artist by heart, right? Art and heart goes so well with her, right? Sonal Jain, amazing to have you here. You have already done a lot of work in the field of abstract art, and you're also coming from the IT field where you have been helping people on the different fields. So, welcome to Dream Career Talk Show, Sonal.
Thank you so much, Feta. It's really a pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, so I'll just start with my journey, what I have done and what I was and what I'm doing right now. So basically, I have been in IT industry from last 16 years, working as a solution architect, as a database administrator, as administration in DevOps team. But from childhood, my passion was like I just wanted to do art. But it was like if taking the academic things in consideration, that side of mine was taken. It has taken a backseat. But after that, when I just started, I started like 10 years back. I thought just took some canvas. I used to do some still life and all those things. But I thought I'll just go into the oil paintings. I am self-taught in this stream. So what I did was like I took my canvas and saw how to prepare the canvas. I just started with those things. After that, when I went into depth, I saw a connect, and then I thought like, why only the objectiveness or only the realistic part? Then I moved to abstract art. So it has really touched me. The abstract art part has really touched me, and I have done lot of thinking. I do lot of thinking, connect to myself when I draw, and it de-stresses me also when we are in IT field, when you're working on so many things. So it's like that, once you are done with your IT thing and you move to your canvas, that de-stress part is really amazing. So this is my journey.
Great. And you said like you have been into IT field for about 15 plus years. And
Yes.
then you started this journey into art about 10 years back. Like what was that moment or what actually inspired you to get started with art? Was it by accident or was it by chance, choice? How was this?
So actually, I have interest from childhood. It's not like that I was something like detached from art. It was there, but I thought I used to do some things on paper and sketching, basically on papers. Then there was a urge just to go on the bigger canvases. I just thought that okay, I'm doing this thing. Let me go some bigger things using oils. So just a thought over there, and I wanted to paint every time. So this time I wanted to go on something bigger, and this was the thing.
Great. And you said you are also self-learned all of these things,
Yeah.
right? And how easy was it for you, or initially were you struggling initially? And initially, maybe when you showed to people, how was the reaction of people around you?
Yeah, people liked it because there was something I have put my soul into that, and that artistic thing and that thought was reflecting in my paintings. and they really liked it. Though it was something with the objectiveness and realism, I was copying or duplicating the things which I was seeing. At the starting point, it was not like that. It was a completely abstract thing connected to me. The start was with a realism, and then I moved to abstract. But as you see, if you are into something and people can understand that sort of connectivity, so yeah, I got a good response.
Great. And I know you have done a lot of art by yourself, and some of those are, we can see it behind you, we can see it on that wall, right? So, do you want to display some of those as well?
Yes, so this is just my one of the pieces which I have done in the abstract, and I have printed it on my mug. So
Wow.
this is one, and there are a lot of other paintings. As we go, I have couple of things to present also, so we can discuss. We can discuss the concept behind those arts.
All right, great. And you have been able to display this in certain places as well, and people have been able to see that as well.
Yes. It's there, and now my plan was to put these things in cancer hospitals and couple of places where we have patients to see their reaction. I have been experimenting with my paintings and colors on couple of subjects, but to go to a bigger centers like hospitals, in cancer hospitals, or we have old age homes, so that we can relax people, and we can give them a breathing space to show their emotions. So that is my next thing. I have been doing it, but because of this COVID thing, it's like a little bit on the backside. But I will continue doing all these things.
That's amazing. That's really for a good cause, and more power to you on being able to support so many patients onto this. We'll definitely go into that later about
Yeah.
how people can be healed through art. But what is this all about? Like you were talking about abstract art, and what is abstract art, and how did it get started? What is the history and all of it? Can you get started from there?
Yeah. So basically, at the start, abstract art took its started in 20th, starting of the 20th century. And what happened exactly was before that arena. I will go into the history, but I just want to tell you basically what is the abstract art. So there was a painting realism that what you see objects you used to paint it. This was pre-Renaissance period or Renaissance period, and then people thought that there is a urge to express themselves. So abstract art came into picture where you don't have any objectiveness. You represent your work with shapes, colors, compositions, with lines, and you put on your eye emotions. Whatever you can express, you put it. So basically there is no much thought given to it, but it comes from your unconscious mind. Whatever is there inside you, so you will be expressing those things. So abstract art as such, it's very difficult to tell what is abstract art. So since we are in art, it's more of seeing and feeling. So what I would do is like, if we can present something, I can show what is the abstract art, what is the idea behind it, and then we can go from there. So
Yeah,
basically,
definitely.
yeah. So basically, it's not something real. It's a object, non-objectiveness and non-representational part of art. So this is what I can say as of now. But as we go, I can make it understand more.
Great. Yeah, definitely we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just share a couple of slides here, um, to make it more clear what is abstract art. So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So this is the art of abstract art basically started from Kandinsky. The father, he is called the father of abstract art. So before that, what I will do is, if you see here, if you see what ideas you are getting here. Can you interpret anything? What is happening here? We don't know what's just happening if we don't understand the abstract art. This is something Kandinsky's first painting was there, first abstract art we can say. And this is from Pollack, where he has just dripped the colors and he has put coins and other things and punctured the tube. But what exactly is this? These compositions, these colors, and this black and red, what exactly is this? So, what here people are trying to do is they are taking out the unnecessary things and they are representing what exactly is the core they want to present it. So and now also what I would do is we will go through the history, what happened, why it came into picture, and then we will go back and understand what was the interpretation of these paintings. So let me share the screen and here we go. So I would like to discuss the art was there from 15,000 BC basically. There we had this figurative sort of things where people used to not be, if they are not focal, they will put in the walls of caves and they will be representing their art.
Are
Then,
you showing anything on your screen?
yeah, I'm sharing. Is it not?
Okay, because we are not able to see that. Maybe
Okay.
you.
Now, are you able to see this?
Yeah, now we are able to see it.
Okay. So you can see this, right?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah. So basically, this was the cave paintings, which was 15,000 BC, where people used to paint on walls, and this was the time when people used to duplicate the things what they were seeing, the expressions and everything what they were seeing. So this is the most famous painting, Mona Lisa, where this Leonardo da Vinci has put worked for more than 16 years, put 30 layers of hair size layer. The width was like very thin layers. He has put 30 layers, and to give that expression, he has went inside to understand the skeleton and everything. This classic art again was a representational objective. If you see, this is very clear thing, which you can see the structure and everything. It's there in place, very objective. Then till what it was like it was completely realism. Then romanticism came, and though we can see pictures here, but there was little bit of a distraction here. Then came the impressionism, where you get impression of the things. And after that, post impressionism was the era when Vincent has painted the starry nights with thick paints. And it was again a realism. Still abstract has not come into picture. And you can see here expressionism. Here people started telling that you just remove the unnecessary things, just express what is there in your mind or whatever you are seeing. So here you can see the things are not very real, but you can understand this screaming person. This is just removing the unnecessary things. Then came cubism, where you use started using forms, shapes, different type of triangles, rectangles, geometrical shapes to show out the figure. You can see here it's complete geometry, a human figure, but in a geometrical form. After that, the first painting, I would say, first, or it's little controversy, but yeah, we can say it's a first abstract art by Winsley Kandinsky, where he has started. He told that it's more of spirituality, and you need to remove the realism and objectiveness and come to a place where you can just express whatever is inside you. So this is the first watercolor painting untitled by Kandinsky, who is called father of abstract art. So this I would go further here. If you see why I'm explaining this, if you want to understand abstract, you have to see what was happening in those eras. So after World War II, first and second, what happened? People thought that realism is, it's difficult to express the things because capitalism, World War III, and fascism was there, and then you have communist parties also there. So this era was something like the beginning of 20th century, where you could not express the thing seeing the real. You need to express more what was happening, because there was lot of trauma because of world wars, and the people have started telling that okay, the scientific things which are there, we need to have more expression. There are the volatility of emotions was too much in 20th century. So they wanted to find out a way where they can express the things which is coming from their inside, but it cannot be real because it was something related to emotions. So this was what Kandinsky draw. You can see it's a black arc. It's just a presentation and the movement of the composition, how things are getting together with a limited palette. And this was his first work. We discussed about the watercolor. Now, there is a controversy where people say that alongside with Kingsley, Hema Alf Clint was also there, and these two people were impacted or they were influenced by theosophy. And this we can see from the spiritual side in their paintings also. So what she painted was something like all the masculine and feminine energies getting together and merging into a golden circle sort of things. So this was something she used to tell, that she get messages from master, that this spirituality also came because this cannot be represented in something realism, and people wanted to express themselves. Then these are a couple of other things. The the person Polak, what he used to do is he took out these canvases from wall and he just put it on the floor and just he used to drip it, telling his emotions, putting tubes, colors over there to represent. You can understand something messy here, but if you go in depth, you can see this is called the action art. So action, you're just dancing with your emotions. Whatever is coming into your mind, you're just painting, dripping, and you're expressing yourself. So this is the gist of abstract art. You don't have to relate to anything. You just take out whatever thoughts are there from this and be yourself. So this is what art is all about. So I just then we can go to this Marco Rothko, where he just used colors simply on big canvases. Colors. So what does it mean and how it developed? I'll just show this one, and then we can go. What does it mean? So how this Mondrian and other artists, how they develop their art. So here you can see a tree, a realistic tree, and then it's going into some shapes and then into compositions, and ultimately you see some rectangles and this sort of things. It's creating the idea, but it's not duplicating the idea. It's not about the object. It's about the sense or the feeling which you get. So this was what abstract art started becoming, because people wanted to remove the realism from there and then have it completely an idea painted. So uh, I can tell you about this. Picasso was not a complete abstract artist, but how he removed the unnecessary things and simplified the things. You can see a figure like this or this, you can at least understand. And even a emoji, what you can understand the expressions. You remove the unnecessary things, you can understand the expression over there. And this was something, this was the cry of world war, which Picasso has painted in form of Guerrina painting. So here what you could see is a lady, a child in her hand, and she's crying. Here a lady in fire, and you can see the modern scientific things also. That time lamp was just invented, but you can see a ray of hope also. You can see here a chimney sort of thing, and this lady with a broken leg is seeing towards the hope. And then this horse dying in pain, dying in war field, something like that. This bull is like a symbolism of fear. So basically what artists did was they removed, they wanted to show their emotions. They removed the complexity and unnecessary things, and they just gave a simplistic idea and paint it in form of this abstract art. It's a semi abstract, we can say partial. It's not a complete abstract because what is there in abstract again I will discuss. So now coming back here, what you see now, if we go to this painting, now I think you can understand this composition idea, the energy, the vibrancy. If you see here, basically, you might tell that okay, I can paint anything like this. I can just have a black thing and paint here. But idea is what was the thing behind it. This is from Malrich, and he told that this is like from zero into zero, from nothingness. Like it's a spiritual concept. You cannot express it through something realism, but the idea was there is a white space outside that, and there is a nothing, no nothingness inside this, covered by a white thing, liberating sort of things. These two circles are a representation of a fear, and that was a wartime, World War II. So he painted something like the reason is blood, and whatever things were happening in the world war, and the fear and the outside emptiness was there in form of white. So these are the interpretations, I think. Now if you see a art, and if you know the history sort of thing, you can understand what basically the artist is trying to say. And one more thing I just want to tell you is, just give an example. Suppose you have a chair and you melt the chair. What you get is plastic. There is no idea, there is no form, but the core is remaining over there. So this is what abstract is. And an abstract can be inclusive or exclusive. So suppose I have a sleeper and a hammer in a painting. You cannot correlate. There is nothing inside you which is correlating to that one. And that's the reason you become blank. You cannot relate anything from your past memory or chitta or whatever is there. You just become a blank, and it's a meditative state. So, in that meditative state, whatever you are seeing, you will just go blank and seeing. So, that reaction is a different thing. And if you tell about the exclusiveness, you remove every idea from there. The remaining thing is a thought, a expression that takes you deep. You express yourself, it takes you deep. So this is interpretation of abstract. Some people might, there are a couple of people who tell that okay, what is there in this art, anybody can paint. But it's not about painting, it's about expressing what is there inside. And some things you cannot just have some object related to those emotions. So this is all about abstract art.
No, it's
I hope
really
I,
very interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
It's very
So
interesting, and a lot of people have been able to resonate, right? I could see Reena, Anurag, Vamsi, Vikas, Vinita. They were all appreciating by showing thumbs up, and I think they were all liking the way it has been showcased. And for me also, there was a lot of learning in that. So thank you for sharing at least the history and then understanding about how this particular thing is done and what is abstract art and all of that. So that's really good to know. And when you started with art, you said you did not start with abstract art, right?
yeah.
You started with something in a different form of art. What actually inspired you to get started with abstract art? And what has been like that thing which has connected with you with abstract art all the time?
Yeah, so actually, if I show my art, I can tell you, but let's start. Thing was, when I was duplicating the things, I was not getting a feeling that I am able to express what actually I want. A landscape or a still life, a vase or a flower. It's just like you are duplicating. Though there are a couple of things, but what was inside me, I was not able to express it. So if I share, I can show my art, and I can tell what exactly I wanted to express and how I expressed it. So let me
Yeah,
go
definitely.
through. Yeah, yeah. I'll just share this. So this was one of the first painting which I painted, called Gross, from gross to subtle. So basically, this is an expression of the materialistic. If you can see here, I have used medical gauze. So this was a representation of the materialistic world, and as you go higher, this was something a subtler part of you. When the things, the all the things vanishes, and you are left with some cool, calm things, representation of spiritualism. So what I wanted to express, but I was not getting how do I do it. So here, what I did was like just I thought materialism. It's a net, you are stuck in that, and all these things are whatever impurities you have, whatever thought processes you have in day to day life, and other all sort of feelings. And when you go to higher stages, there is nothing left, it's a subtler thing, more soft, more subtle. And this is how I represented my idea from going from gross to subtle. So this is one of the first painting which I painted to show my inner feeling. Then this was something I was trying with the abstract, and as it I might be abstract is also related to texture and all these things. So I was trying to paint this abstract thing, and then I thought that yeah, the sounds of the world, Om is the sound of the world. So I just took out that thing from this from abstract, and this is what the universe is. So this is how I interpreted. The backside is what all abstract your ideas or emotions or whatever is there, or nothingness, and then from there the sound is coming. So this is a fusion of abstract plus a traditional one, which I tried here. And this was Urge to Merge. So it's titled Urge to Merge. So here also I represented all these things, these flowery things, maybe a different set of emotions here, or your whatever you want to be in materialism. But ultimately, everything is going inside this circle, and it's merging at one place here, if you see. So this movement from all sort of things which we do in this world may ultimately go to a point where everything will go and merge. So this was my idea, and I just put it in this canvas here. And this was I was it's a fantasy bird, and this was something like you are if you see the center, it's nothing, and from that nothing comes everything. So it could be a fantasy bird, or all materialistic cheese things like that, or whatever creation is there. So it could be anything, but here it's a fantasy bird, which is I am representing, which is coming from nothingness. And this was the web, again the same concept, which I was it's my inner feeling, that when it's from the web, you are going to a subtler part when you rise above all these materialistic things. So this was something I tried for the first time to get this type of look of the web, and it really came out well. And this is a floor treat. I was just playing with colors. I wanted to have something which can stuck to eyes with a vibrancy and a composition. So this was a floral treat, a treat to your eyes, which I have tried to depict here.
Okay, while you are showcasing this, just pause for a minute. And there is a pop-up that's coming up. Can you just close that hide StreamYard? Yeah,
Yeah,
just click on that hide. Yeah, so
yeah,
that we can see the entire painting.
yeah,
Okay,
sure.
because a lot of people
Sure.
are watching this. And meantime, there is one good question coming from Vinita. Vinita is asking, आप पेंटिंग बनाने के पहले माइंड में कुछ सोचते हो या मूड पर डिपेंड होता है? Like, do you actually think about it in your mind, or it depends on your mood and the situation?
Yeah, so basically for me, it depends on my mood. Sometime I am in a mood like if you are dull, you will be using those sort of colors. And sometimes it's like I start with the idea. It's not a complete thing, but generally most of the times it's like I start with nothing. I'm just in a mood to paint, and it depends what is coming from my inside. Like couple of paintings which I showed you in the starting, it was it that thing was there, but the idea was not there, the concept, the inner feeling was there, but I have not thought what I will do. And then I just had this net and all these things. So then okay, it started from there, how I can represent my things. So I don't prepare from the starting. The idea comes just like that, and I start working on this. Even this thing was something like I wanted to have a phoenix sort of thing with a royal look, because violet and purple are colors with a royal look. And this represents a phoenix bird. If you can see here, a bird which is coming from ashes. So the royalty is there, and it's a message for everyone that you can come, whatever your failures are there or whatever things have happened in life, you are a phoenix, you can raise from ashes. So this was something I was trying to represent. And this painting was also when I was thinking about the same thing, like how to do a couple of things which I was not able to understand. And then this thing came naturally to me to paint this. Then this was also, some people see Ganesha here and something tender leaf. I was trying to do something which represents the inner voice, nothingness, or a form which is very much intellectual. So I was trying to paint, but it was not in any form or anything. So this is what was the look, and I just threw the paint and just blowed it whatever was coming into my mind to understand what I will get from there, and then modifications over there. And this was a fantasy flower I did on alcohol paint, using alcohol inks. And the look and the subtleness which I was trying to get here, it's like a fantasy flower. It's not existing on the earth, but might be somewhere it might exist, sort of thing. And these are a couple of things which I have shown you. These are again abstract. This is inspired by seasons. uh, if you can see here, I was trying to do something like the things coming from higher up, like Ganges or something, in a rainy flooded season, and then merging and settling over here. And then on the front side you will have a more in-depth view of what was happening on the backgrounds are little less, and the front side is like you can have a magnified view. So these are couple of things. I couple of paintings of mine.
This is amazing. Right, the work you have done is really amazing, and I know like it comes from your heart, the art coming from your heart, right?
Yeah.
So we have a couple of questions. One question definitely coming from me, first of all. How can people interpret this art? Like you have put your expressions in this abstract art, right? How do opposite person, right? Do they have to have the knowledge of art, and when they have that knowledge of abstract art, they can understand your feelings and expressions through that art? Or is it something like anybody can understand, or for opposite person it's not easy to understand? How is this?
Um, Abstract art, if I tell you, as I told you, something like it's related to forms, it's related to your emotions. So it's based on idea, your emotions, your observations. And if you take it to a further, if an artist who is painting is able to, the person is able to resonate with what he is saying, then we can say okay, the person is able to understand what he is doing, or what the artist is trying to communicate. So in couple of abstract art, the thing is like what's sometimes the history is important so that you can relate. Sometimes the forms and compositions and the colors, the vibrancy, like if somebody is in a mood a dull mood, he might choose colors like gray, which are brown, which are more on a negative side. If somebody is of more in a jovial mode, or he's energetic, he might use some red colors. And then, depending on colors and compositions, you can understand what's going behind the artist's mind. So, for some people, it's like that. Even if you don't know art, some art are like that. Once you see the art, it's like you can understand the emotion behind that. That will come automatically once you see, and you will start gazing it. There is nothing, nothing, but you will feel something good about it. So after that, It's not like about interpretation. It's how you feel, how you get the emotions about that. There could be a art which the artists have gone they have made. We are interpreting it, their interpretation might be different. So it's more about what is coming out of this as an emotion. What emotions are you getting when you are seeing that art? So basically, if you have to go in a theory, it could be like you see the composition, you see the color, and you see how the movements are there in the art. If you see here in one of the art, there was a movement, how he has tried to put that black arc and going inside the painting again, so that your eyes don't go outside the painting. So keeping your gaze on a particular thing. This movement's composition, art, shape is a different thing, and the feeling which you are getting from that art, which becomes when you become meditative, is what could be an interpretation of abstract art. So it's not a thumb rule that okay, I have interpreted it this way, the other person has interpreted it this way. But a real art will be the one which 100 people are standing in front of it, and you are getting the same what the artist was trying to communicate. You are getting that. But in other cases, like if you see Mona Lisa, that was a different case where her eyes are just following you, and if you see her smile, it's a very mystic smile. The reason being, when you see the eyes, the lower part, you don't pay attention to the lower part, lips, and all these things. And the artist has so much. He was an inventor. Leonardo da Vinci was like a scientist, an inventor. He has gone inside your skull, muscles, and skull. I started doing portrait also, and now I can understand like what's going behind. It's not only the facial things. You have to go inside, see what muscles are there, and inside that skull. So he has gone to then when X-ray was taken, he has gone to that limit that he has what muscles are over there, skull, and all those things. That's why Mona Lisa is a different thing. But in an abstract, just communicate. If the artist is able to communicate his emotions and it's reaching you, that's it.
That's really great to know, and let me again appreciate you the kind of work that you have done, whatever you have showcased here. I'm sure this is not everything what you have done, but
Yeah.
this is really amazing, and I can see a lot of people are able to resonate, and then they are like liking this. Like we have Mary, we have Selvam, we have Naman, we have Dhaval, we have Vikas, Das, Vardarajan, Mahendra, Vinita, Alok, Nitish, Aradhya, and like there are so many people who have been able to connect with whatever you are sharing here. And we have one question before we move ahead from Vikas. Okay, Vikas, since also sees here that your title is also that you are a solution architect working with the IT company for about 15 plus years. So Vikas' question is how you relate your profession IT with this art, right? Are these two different completely, or you can relate? So do you want to share anything about this?
Yeah, so it's a relation also, and it's complete detachment also from my professional life, because it's like scientifically, if you see, there are different areas of your brain which are logical and which are creative, and they get impacted. So when I'm moving from my IT thing to art, I'll just remove everything, no thoughts, nothing, and I'll move over to there. So for me, it's also a stress buster where I am not able to speak something. I can just put it on a canvas and show my emotions, because not everything can be expressed what you are feeling on a certain point of time. So IT is like a profession. I'm doing it, and it's a different part of my brain that works over there. And here, when I come, I completely forget everything, and I am just into art, into myself, connecting to my inner self. That's it.
Right. And since I also come from IT, out of
Hmm.
curiosity, now somebody comes from IT or in the corporate world, we see there is a lot of stress, right? At least during pandemic, the work has increased. The way we have been doing work, everything has changed. Now, do you think it can still help IT people as well when they get into abstract art or whatever through art that they can also de-stress and express their feelings?
Definitely, because to paint you don't have to be master. You don't have to go something a course of fine arts, or even if you don't know how to draw a straight line, also you can paint, because it's just your emotions, colors you throw on a canvas. and whatever you feel like, it's a complete freedom. So anybody, like anybody can dance, anybody can paint also. It's not related to anything you need. Even if you don't know how to draw a straight line, you can paint. And once you start painting, I would suggest, like, uh, for every person who is having stress, either in IT or mentally or physically, he is having some issues. That's what we are coming to next thing. But they should paint it. At least, if even if they don't know how to paint, they just play with the colors and throw their emotions, some lines, something here and there, and then they can de-stress themselves, because this is what the inner voice, inner energy is coming on the canvas, and whatever blockages are there in your system, that will get unblocked.
Great. I think that definitely helps my friends and your friends coming from the IT field, and also others from the corporate field, entrepreneurs, people who are in job, right? Because today, I think in this fast-moving world, any form of art to heal or to feel de-stressed, I think definitely helps. Now, coming to the core of this particular episode today, where we said healing through art. Now, is it possible, Sonal, and have you yourself experienced this, and have you been able to see others experience this or help people? Is it possible to heal through art, and how does that happen?
Yeah, Kata. Before I discuss this, I would like to play a small video, and then I will come out about my experiences and other people's experiences. I'll talk about that. But I would like to play this video, small video, before we start talking on the subject.
To see is called I Remember Better When I Paint. It's about Alzheimer's disease, a growing global epidemic. And yet, it's a hopeful story, showing how the creative arts can help renew a sense of connection and identity for people with Alzheimer's, our parents, our spouses, our friends, when they can no longer communicate as they did in the past. The project was created by Berna Hebner, whose mother was afflicted by Alzheimer's, but who found renewal through painting. The film is narrated by the Academy Award winning actress Olivia de Havilland.
My mother always loved art, of course, music, dance, the movies, paintings. And in fact, early to middle stage of Alzheimer's, she decided that she wanted to paint. So she got all the equipment and the canvas and the paint set and got the easel, set the easel, put the canvas on the easel and started to paint. And she loved oil. She loved the texture of oil. And she painted. And I think it brought her a peace of mind, and it helped her to relax. So many caregivers, so many people give up with this disease, and it's so important not to give up. I have a wonderful dear friend, Berna, whose mother was a famous painter, Hilgos, in Chicago, who loved to paint, and she painted throughout her illness.
I first met Hilda in 1995 when I was consulting to this nursing home where she was as a patient. And I was asked to see her because she had periods of agitation. She was withdrawn at other times, not interacting with the staff, looked kind of apathetic. When I tried to interact with her, she kind of ignored me. It was as if I wasn't being recognized by her.
And one day I was just trying to think of, well, why isn't she herself? And is there anything that we could do to get her to connect again? And so she was just very sad and very quiet, and she knew she was not herself and not speaking the way she used to speak. And so I said to her one day, "Mom, do you want to paint?" And her face brightened and she lit up a little bit and she seemed to be a little bit like herself. And she looked at me and she connected and she said, "Yes, I remember better when I paint."
It was a very exciting moment when I heard that, and I suggested to Hilda's daughter that she contact the Art Institute of Chicago and see if there might be some students who would be interested in working with Hilda.
I started to go to the nursing home where she was living, and I brought out paints and started to introduce her to the idea of painting again, with the hopes that that might be of interest to her, because she had told her daughter that she remembered better when she paints. And at first, she actually acted as if she wasn't even hearing me, and she would often sometimes turn away from me when I would be talking to her. And it gave me the impression that she was really shut down and that there was sort of a void of person there, especially because the people around me at the nursing home seemed to feel that either the lights were on or the lights were off, meaning that either you're capable of engaging or you're not capable. And they really believed that Hilda was not capable of engaging in a real deep, meaningful way. Finally, I think there was one day when I was really, really let down, and I started to leave the nursing home, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw Hilda beckon me over, and she had very long fingers and very pronounced fingers, and she went like this to me, and so I was like, what is she doing? And I went over to her, and she said a full sentence for the first time to me. She said, I've never had anything like this, you know? Let's just keep it this way. And I don't even know if I responded because I didn't really know what to say. I think I just looked at her and nodded, and then I was so hooked from then on. I knew that she was connected to me, and I felt very loyal to her.
She sort of came alive. I mean, there was more expression on her face. I was able to communicate a bit more with her. And Jenny and then several other students began coming to the nursing home and working with Hilda.
She was really regaining a quality of life that she had started to lose when she was first entering into that nursing home. I mean, she would laugh. She would actually make jokes. We would go out for ice cream.
This is touch time for me. Touch my time. I just want to say another touch so that I will have my touch will be right.
I thought what was really the most interesting thing about working with Hilda was that you could sort of enter into her abstract, poetic mode of communication, which perhaps is a little bit easier for artists to do, because we were very charmed and intrigued by the way that she communicated. Normal verbal communication to take you from point A to point B didn't really apply to her anymore.
I felt very proud of the students because I think that they really created a new family with my mother. And sometimes when I would come to visit her, my mother would say, oh, watch out, here comes the real one. Watch out, here comes the boss. Because she felt that I was always pushing her to communicate, to paint a little more.
It was really fun to bring her to her art show because she was very proud. She got all dressed up. She was wearing one of her favorite purple hats, and she smiled at everybody, and she ate the hors d'oeuvres, and she sipped the wine, and it was just a beautiful thing to see her in her element again as an exhibiting artist.
Over the next 3 years, thanks to the involvement of Jenny, Jane, Tim, and Robin, Hilda created over 300 paintings, often doing several each week, covering the walls of her room and those of family and friends with her bright and joyful color. Then, in February of 1998, Hilda passed away. In her memory, Berner set up the Hilgos Foundation, awarding scholarships to students of the Art Institute of Chicago to work with people having memory problems. In spite of Alzheimer's, the essence of each person continues on, still ready to communicate, often through new paths, to touch and be touched, to love and be loved.
This is so beautiful, right? When you are able to instill hope and make people come back to life, live again, right? This is really beautiful. So now I'll let you explain.
Yeah. So basically, what happens, Pata, is like you have your chakras, 7 chakras you might be knowing, and they are all related to colors. And each and every cell of ours respond to color, to light. And your physical, mental, and emotional, all the things are balanced using these chakras. So I'm just bringing the color thing also here, and abstract art also here. So once you see those colors and once you are able to express your things, this is when you will start feeling more balanced with respect to your emotions, your mental health. And it's not only for Alzheimer's, it's for Parkinson's, for cancer patients. When you go through that chemotherapy and all those painful treatments, this is the one way by which we can soothe them. And the way they can express themselves along with their inner feelings, this is where art is coming into picture. Coming to the colors, when you see a baby, a newborn baby is there and she is having jaundice. So how do you heal them? You have those blue lights for the babies, and those blue lights help in disintegrating the delivery, and your jaundice will be cured. So coming to this, there are two aspects now. The healing part, when you are able to express your things internally. I just want to bring one more story here of Anna, an American dancer. When she was trying to do a self portrait, she drew herself, and on the lower side she made some circles, black circles, and she was not able to understand why I made this. And then she went to doctor. She was diagnosed of cancer, and then she healed her, like, till it was in a good state. She kept on painting and all these things. So art is so much that whatever you can't feel, you can express in that particular expression when you are putting the things on canvas. Along with this, if you come to the color therapy just put a thing, like if you see a blue is the color which impacts your parasympathetic nerves, which are related to relaxation. And red is the color which impacts your sympathetic nerves, which is like fight or flight mode. When the things are, you are in danger, you will be running. And the colors, this red color will aggravate your circulatory system, your heartbeats, and everything. So when this comes, if you just put a red colored picture in front of a paralytic person, something will happen to him. He might have some circulatory blockages that can just heal. Or if you see a blue color, so blue color is something of the calmness, where it can soothe your nerves, and it can have more relaxation effect, de-stress yourself. And there are a lot of color therapies, color related things which were researched, and it came into experimental form, where people were treated using this colors, giving solarized water, or just put a painting over there, seeing that they will have this testing. This is one part of healing. The other part is let people paint, let their emotions come out and heal themselves internally, because this is the internal expression. They are trying to connect to their inner things, and this is a sort of meditation or a sort of spirituality. And this is the best healing part which comes out, because we have a healing capacity also. We have to tap into those areas through the art.
That's amazing. I think a lot of people are again like appreciating whatever through that video. I think people got some great insights as well, and whatever you explained also has been like really good there. Now, typically when you see if you have to heal through art, is there any timeline or is there any specific methodology that's being used? Can you maybe elaborate more on that healing through art?
Yeah, so there are a couple of other methods like art therapy. That's a different, completely different subject. But what I am concentrating and I'm trying to do with people or the patients is, first thing, let them paint. If it's not possible, heal them through colors, showing them colors, and seeing their response with the colors. Because people have their preferences of colors also. If you see, depending on your mood or other things, they have preferences, and something will just have agitate them, or something will calm them. And we have to tap into those things person wise also. It's not a very generic thing, but when you are treating this type of people, you have to understand what is their psychological behavior, and what do they like, their likes and dislikes, and the impact of color on them. So this is how we generally do it. And the art therapy is an entirely different part, where you have other sorts of treatments also. But generally, if you just give them a color or a brush and let them paint, let them express, that is the best healing part, what I can say. And what I have also experienced with people also, and with myself also. So healing through art, just try to paint. Anybody can paint. You need not to have any degree, anything related to fine arts, or even a straight line also. And you see how much healing power is there, because when you tap inside your healing powers through art, because it's just a connection. When you paint, you get connected internally in depth, and that connection will make you heal.
Great. You said you don't even need to have like a one line. You don't have to even draw one line to have that experience and all. But if somebody has to build a career in the field of art, especially in abstract art, how do they get started, Sona?
Okay, so see, now this is like a digital thing, and this is an abstract art. I can, if I can show you, this is a completely
Yes.
abstract art which I have done. And there are couple of lot of market open in apparels, in fashion designing, in interior designing. Even you can put you can plan a complete house using that, seeing what kind of customers you have, their mood, what is best for them, what kind of paintings will be there. So apart from that, digital art is there. You just do your abstract, you can sell it also. And when we have come to this IT and digital, this thing, endless scope has opened for us. It's not just now, abstract art is not just doing art and hanging on a wall of your house. It has it has crossed all the boundaries. It's global, and it's in everywhere, because creativity, you need it in direction also, production also, because it's not like normal clothes and all these things. In that area also, when you are in a creative side of a picture, then also the abstract things will come. Because if you see some pictures, you have never thought this kind of dresses will be there. The core idea has come, and then they have developed excellent work on that. So this kind of things abstract, where nobody has thought about that. You can have that abstract things on your uh, any product. You talk about cap, shoes, clothes, but from that any area, if you see, the abstract has gone into such a depth, because people now don't want the traditional things, they want something new. And here, when the abstract comes, they are just mesmerized. Okay, I have never thought, what is this? They just go blind and meditative, and that's where the artists get respect for the ideas which they are putting in. So a lot of things are there. Career wise, it's really a good thing if you are able to expand your art, not only confined to a particular product, but see a broader way. Even in gaming also, it's not like you will design something traditional things. You can have abstract things there also, which was never seen before, and you had your idea, and you're generating those type of designs there also. So it's everywhere now, abstract, and people are liking it, because they don't want to see the traditional things, which just duplicate of something.
Great. And you are, anyways, a self learner. You said you learned everything on your own. Now, somebody wants to build a career in art, right? You explained it. But is there anything that you can recommend, or like, do you also do any kind of trainings for people who want to get started in the field of art?
Yeah, I do, but what I would recommend is, for Swata, before you do anything, just paint from your heart. That is the thing. The other things will come up in line. But if you want to really succeed, just you paint what is coming, paint from your heart, and be truthful to you. Once you are truthful, all the things will come into line. Marketing and all those parts are there, though, But if people see honesty and truthfulness in your painting and something new, some new ideas, definitely it will go in a broader market, it will go worldwide also, might be it can go. So from my perspective, it's like the honesty in your painting which will take you very high.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip because in any field, I think authenticity is something that's very important. And somebody does it from the heart with a lot of honesty. I think
Yes.
sky is the limit for these people. They can go global. Definitely this particular niche or the area is broad. People can make a lot of money. People can also enjoy whatever they are doing through their passions, right? And that's something that they can do. And there have been a lot of people appreciating today on whatever you have been sharing, Sonal. So, is there a place where they can reach out if they have to pick up your paintings as well? I know you have a lot of paintings and you do different kind of artwork in the form of the mug that you showed and the other things. How can they reach out to you? Is there any website? Is there anywhere they can connect with you?
So I have a website. So
Can
it's
you
w.
drop that in the comments, like so that we can put it there? Post a
Yeah.
comment. Do you see that there?
Yes, I will just drop it here.
Yeah, you can just drop it there and maybe I can reshare with everyone so that people can look at it and then
I
they can
think
reach out to you.
enable. So I am just putting it in private. I have some issue with
Okay, you
some.
just drop the note and then I'll probably like, yeah. All right. So I'm just sharing it with everyone so that people can go ahead and then use this, right? If they want to check it out. Yeah, so I think it's gone on YouTube, and I think I'll just display it here so that people on Facebook and Insta can also look at it. Facebook, Insta, wherever you are, right? You can probably look at it. It is www.sascurve.com. So here you can find the paintings from Sonal, and you can also connect and interact with Sonal. She is active on LinkedIn and Facebook, predominantly on LinkedIn. You can connect with her, right, Sonal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So that was really amazing having you on this show and then you sharing a lot about abstract art and also how people can heal through art. But before we end this episode, do you have anything that you want to share to the audience before we end this episode?
So I would like audience, each and every person, to just pick up a brush now with colors and paint. That's the only thing I want. Express themselves. That's it.
Great. And the one last question we have here, can it also help students in their studies is something that
Yeah,
someone.
it's you can concentrate once you start doing this, it increases the concentration as well. Your memory power, we have just seen in this video. It's not only for patients, it's for students also. It increases your memory power because here you have to concentrate, and it's one of the impact will be you will have great memory in this. So memory as well as concentration, and then you will, it's not like you won't mug up. That emotions will come and you'll try to understand the things. So this is how students will get benefit from there. Once you try to understand yourself, that things will come into your day to day life. You will try to understand the subject as well. So the impact is on a larger scale. So it's how you do one thing, you do everything. Once you try to understand yourself, you'll put everything in that area. In studies also, you will try to understand the concepts. Then it will, your complete attitude will change, and this I have seen in students also. So it's like that. For students it's very beneficial.
Great. Thank you for that. And once again, thank you for being on this show and sharing a lot of your knowledge and experience. And thank you for all those people who have been interacting, engaging. Easy Mnemonics, Vikas Jain, Vamsi Mohan, Aradhya, Vinita, Mary, Selvam, Das Babu, Anurag, and Mridula, Naman, Dhaval, Vikas, Vardarajan, Mahendra, Vinita, Alok, Nitish, Aradhya, Reena, Anurag, Vamsi, Vikas, Vinita, Aparna. Oh my God, so many people. Arasu, so many people were live watching us and also engaging with this particular content. So thank you everyone, and once again thanks Sonal for being here and sharing all from your experience and also the art that you have already done for yourself and for others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, and thanks, Fata, for having me in this show. It was really pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks everyone once again for being on the show, and for people who are going to watch us on the recording as well. I'm sure you are going to love it, because today we tested really something different, where Sonal not only brought her experiences, but we also saw a complete video clipping, right, showing one case study. So this was really different, and thank you for all of you for being here and then watching us. And yes, of course, stay connected with Dream Career Talk Show, because we are going to bring more experts from different fields who can talk about their dream careers and also help you with their experiences, their knowledge, and their sharings and their experiences, so that you can also build your dream career. All right. So thank you. And with that, I think one last note we have from Aradhya is put your paintings in museum. People will buy your paintings. So Sonal, you have some great testimonials here, right?
Thank you.
Great. So thank you everybody once again, and have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.